Welcome to the Piano Marvel Method 1E training video. In this section, we are going to cover playing 5-finger exercises. We're also going to review the concepts that we learned in sections 1A through 1E. Through the previous sections, we have learned all the notes in middle C position except for the outermost notes on each hand, played by the pinkies. In the right hand, we have G on the number 5 finger, which is the pinky, and in the left hand, we have F on the number 5 finger, which is also played with the pinky. Let's start with the right hand. C, D, E, F, G. Now let's try with the left hand. C, B, A, G, F. Also pay special attention to where these notes are on the staff. The treble clef G is on the second line from the bottom, and the bass clef F is on the second line from the top. In this section, you will practice playing in middle C position with each hand using all 5 fingers. Learn these notes well because in level 2, we're going to learn some new notes and new hand positions. We also highly recommend that you go to the repertoire library and learn to play at least 2 or 3 level 1 performance songs. Simply go to the repertoire, click on the Browse Library button, and search for songs that are at a level 1 by adjusting the difficulty range to 1, 1. Find some songs that you might want to do and double-click them to add them to your library. You always want to have songs in your library ready to play. If you have completed the previous sections, you are almost finished with level 1 of the Piano Marvel method. Let's review the things this section covered to make sure we didn't miss anything. Also, if you haven't completed the Level 1 technique sections, we highly recommend doing those to reinforce the concepts that you learned in the method. In Level 1, we learned about the treble and bass clef, and that we usually play treble clef notes in the right hand and bass clef notes in the left hand. We learned about the staff and where all these notes are and how to play them. We learned how to play in middle C position using all 5 fingers of each hand. We also learned about posture and the finger numbers on the right and left hand. We learned that in common time, we hold whole notes for 4 beats, half notes for 2 beats, quarter notes for 1 beat, and that 2/8 notes together also equals 1 beat. We learned what the 4/4 time signature means and that it is also commonly referred to as common time. We also learned how to count whole rests, half rests, and quarter rests. We learned about repeat signs and how they are performed. We also learned about playing and counting music in the 6/8 time signature. We learned about playing legato, which means smoothly and connected, and staccato, which means to play short or detached. We also learned to read and perform slurs. We learned that in common time, dotted half notes are held for 3 beats, dotted quarter notes are held for a beat and a half, and a single 8th note is held for only half of 1 beat. We learned that if a song is marked allegro, it should be performed at a fast tempo, and adagio should be performed more slowly. We also learned that if a part of a song is marked with the letter P, we should play softly, and if it is marked with an F, more loudly. We also learned how tied notes across measures can create longer held notes than one measure can hold. If you feel that you were unsure about any of these concepts, please go through section 1A through 1D and watch the specific videos for this section. They will go into greater detail on all of these things and more. This concludes the lesson for Method Level 1E. If you have completed all of the previous sections, you are now ready to move on to Level 2.